Why do I always have to wave twice? That's kind of annoying, but there we go, they did it. Hi guys, and welcome to another video, and once again, we are not at an outpost at the start. Third time now. Doing this has made me realise how prone the Charr Homelands are to making you start quests outside of the outpost, and you always have to kind of be out and starting out in the middle, otherwise you're just going to be taking the same walks every single time. But okay, we're here again, and we're going to be learning what happened to Chance Redding, Brave, Brent, Troon, and so forth. In this video, they've actually got 3 quests going on with them, which I'm hoping to do all together. So let's just get crack-a-lacking straight away. So here's Brave, Brent, Troon, and oh dear, he's dead. Yeah, so this was the guy who, if you forget, was talking about how he was a bit of a coward, basically, and he'd been assigned to the back, because it was the person at the back who always got picked off first. And yeah, it turns out he was picked off first. And I think the quest dialogue even mentions that. It says, "The body of brave Brent Troon lies before you, replete with savage and grisly wounds. It appears Brent's suspicions were not baseless after all, and he has been chewed upon by a Charr. What fate has befallen the other, even Vanguard?" Alright, okay, cool. I hope the others aren't this Nord. I wonder if you can find, and I think you can, find his corpse before you've actually... Do you remember we only managed to trigger that scene by turning on our title? You can probably find the corpse without ever actually seeing that scene, which would be quite interesting. But yeah, we'll be coming back here as well. There's a cave nearby here where we're going to meet some, well, not by name, but some kind of familiar faces, which should be very cool. I can't wait to show you guys that. And in fact, I do think way back in Prophecies when we were in Ascalon, I actually mentioned that we would meet these specific characters once again. At least I remember thinking it. It's been a while, so I can't quite remember what I said, but I'd like to think I did mention it, because it's so cool that we get to see them again, and I've been looking forward to this for some time, let's just say that much. Anyway, back out in Sacnoth Valley, and this quest we're kind of, once again, just going to be walking in the same kind of directions we were before. At least you got to see this bit, this side of the portal. You might have noticed in the previous videos I'd been a little bit cunning and not kind of filmed this side of the portal just yet, and that's because I didn't want to accidentally get Brent's corpse in in the shot and sort of spoil it, so yeah. Basically the same walk again. Hopefully we won't do horrifically as long as I'm actively fighting and using save yourselves for everybody. But who knows. On my way here, everybody was just dying again. It's just... I don't like these heroes. I'm really looking forward to my... In some ways, I'm not looking forward to when all the sort of players come back together, when Peter, Matt, and so on, when they meet up. Because at that point, it's going to be annoying to kind of film the videos. But at the same time, at least I'll have actually decent heroes, and I can kind of pick and choose from all of the Eye of the North heroes that I want. Who, by the way, I believe we've seen them all now. I think we've seen and unlocked all of the Eye of the North heroes. I think Anton was indeed the last one. Obviously, that's then, all by extension, all the heroes from Eye of the North and all of the heroes of Nightfall, which is quite interesting. So basically, for all the paid content in the game, we've now seen every single character that we could have got. However, there was extra updates that came out, obviously, after Eye of the North was released, and there are more heroes about, more heroes we will eventually see, but for now, we've kind of met the most prominent characters. As soon as we finish Eye of the North, I will finally show us another hero, which is a character we've seen a lot of in the Let's Play, that every single time we've seen said character, I've been like, oh no, we'll ignore this person, la 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 la, and just skipped past. So that I'm kind of looking forward to as well. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. I mean, we've still got quite a ways to go with Eye of the North. As far as I can see, we've actually got, and a couple of you have mentioned this in the comments, and do not worry, I have not forgotten. Gwen, actually, at the Eye of the North, if you speak to her out in the Hall of Monuments, this is kind of where you see Gwen a lot of the time in this game, if she's not in your party. She actually offers you a few cool quests that you can only sort of get if you've got specific items in your inventory which sort of relate to her past in some way. So like red iris flowers, or in pre-searing, like, you know, if you remember, there was all that stuff with the flute. Actually, you won't remember because I never showed you any of Gwen in pre-searing. That's been coming back to bite me in the arse so much here in the Charr Homelands. And to be honest, I kind of knew it would from the moment it happened, which is again kind of why I wanted to do the pre-searing series. But yeah, so basically she's got a few quests for us. I'm hoping next episode to do the first of those. Don't worry, I never forgot about them. I always knew they were there, and we just needed to kind of pick a nice time to do it. And then basically what we're going to do next episode is, once we've done that, I will heed to this call of the eye, and we'll see that cutscene, and that will be kind of how this this arc ends, and we complete the Far Shiver Peaks and the Tarnished Coast, because this is really, we're coming up to the last quest here now. So it's been pretty cool. I've enjoyed my time in the Charr Homelands a hell of a lot more than... God, I feel like I'm summing it up and we're not even... We've still got like 2 episodes left here, but I've definitely enjoyed my time here in the Charr Homelands a lot more than I thought I would. It's actually a lot more cool than I remembered. I don't know, because I kind of just remembered it as being... Oh, for God's sake. There's a priest there, guys. I know I ran off, but... Yeah, I kind of always remembered it as just kind of looking generic pre-searing-ish. But, you know, that field up there is actually in the Delada Uplands. Really kind of cool. So, you know, all those views that I'm glad I've managed to show you guys. Let's just get going. Alright, I can't be bothered with them. And was that a Supreme Grawl necklace I saw there? That's pretty cool. Alright, so we're actually coming close to the Burning Forest again, which we won't be seeing until next episode again. And then we'll probably be seeing it another time after that when we go to do the dungeon there. But we're not actually going to see that. Instead, we're going to see the bottom left-hand corner this time, at long last. Been talking about it a lot. Finally glad to actually get there. Basically, we're going to be walking along, finding the remains, or whatever does remain, of this... band of the Even Vanguard. Are we okay? I don't like this area as far as enemies go, because you tend to aggro like loads of Charr and Grawl together. We seem okay though. A load of elementals. I don't really care about the elementals. The elementals you can find doing a really weird thing at one sort of section on this map, if I remember rightly, and I will show you it to you there. It's like somewhere over here. They're just sort of on a perch and they're surrounding like a rock or something. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cool though, obviously. It's another one of those little touches. That should be like my catchphrase for this Let's Play. I've said it so much. Oh, I love all the little touches they've put in this Explorer area. But to be honest, I want to show you guys all the little touches, because they're exactly the kind of things I've been setting out to show people, because there's so many of... I mean, admittedly, there were probably a few more in Prophecies, just because the scope of that game was so big. And you had stuff like old Mac and Joe. Oh god, why am I not appearing offline? I always appear offline. Why didn't that happen? Yeah, but like old Mac and Joe, right? I mean, they always stand out to me as perfect examples of stuff people can miss, because they have a real story. Like old Mac's got a real story going on from pre-searing, and it kind of runs parallel to the main storyline until you reach Kryta, because at that point he kind of fades from existence until the very end. It's weird, Prophecies like that. You'll notice it, and I think I kind of mentioned it a little bit before, but Prophecies really is, it's two stories stitched together. It's the story of the fall of Ascalon, right? That's the first story, and then the second story when you reach Kryta, and it's done quite poorly, really, I've got to say, because when you reach Kryta, you kind of lose the plot a little bit. And I know a lot of people who tried to play the game, and people who have commented on my video saying, "Oh, I just lost the plot at Kryta. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on," because it's done quite badly. But basically, that's because there's really two storylines going on: the fall of Ascalon and the ending with the death of Rragar and the people leaving. Why am I running this way? We're supposed to be over here. And then the actual story to do with the Flame Seeker prophecies themselves, the Massarts, and the White Mantle, of course, or as I like to call it, the Lion and the Bird. So it's kind of cool the way that they did stitch the two together. I actually think it would have been more effective, and maybe, you know, they were quite innovative with their, let's call it an MMO for a second, Guild Wars 1 Prophecies already, but if they'd like changed your character halfway, because really it would have worked that way. You didn't need to have the same characters for the second half. That just would have been really bizarre, quite interesting, but yeah. Anyway, what are we doing here? Is there supposed to be a clue? Hello? Oh, hello! Here's Jen Valenfield. She's not dead. Hey, Jen! At last, a familiar face among this madness. She looks pretty cool. Pretty unique model. We were attacked by something. I couldn't see what it was, just that it was enormous. Now, you see the quest name, Falling Out? I think that's the name of a film, and that "we were attacked" line is a reference to a line someone says in the film. I think that's how it goes. She said we had to run and we were separated. I'm not sure where the others are. I'll go with you. We need to find Chance and the captain and make sure that they're all right. Okay, brilliant. So she will come with us. You know what I was talking about in the other episode where people... Hold on, where's our next section? Yeah, so now we're going over there. Yay, unexplored areas. What's the best way to get there, I wonder? Yeah, we'll go this way. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, you know what I was talking about with those, what people do for lots of even Vanguard points with the quests before. Generally, it's a good idea to get her with you, because she'll join your party. She's got a heal area. She'll help you all out. She's a pretty decent... Well, no, she's not on her own. She's a shitty monk, but she's nice support for your team, and no enemies will ever target her. So she's basically an invincible heal area bot, which is quite nice. So people, I'm under the impression people do that to help them out, particularly when completing stuff like the Smell of Titan in the morning. Which, you know, that forest can just be absolutely deadly. Gwen's quest will actually take us back into the forest, and if you do both of those quests together, it's just gets a little bit ridiculous. It's crazy. I think these Grawl we're fighting here, we're walking around in a bit of a circle here as well, for whatever reason in the world. The Grawl, they're kind of... one of those enemies that always stand out. They're a bit like mandragores to me because on their own they're not really that hard if it's just like the champions or whatever they're called at the time, because obviously they've got different titles when you're down here at Ascalon. But you've got whenever they get like a monk with them, like an Ula deity from back in Prophecies, or now we've got the Dark Priests. They're just such good healers, especially in hard mode. My first time ever playing like hard mode when it came out on Guild Wars, the first thing I ever did, and I, like many people, probably thought this. We thought, oh, look at all these new titles, this is going to be awesome. Let's play the game again, but in hard mode. So we all started off, basically, a large chunk of us that, you know, weren't on the forums at the time, or, you know, we didn't really know that much. We all went to places like Ascalon, which were the easiest places in the game, and we thought to ourselves, right, we'll just kind of vanquish as we go. And the first place, I swear to God, the first place I ever tried to vanquish... Can we kill all of those at once? Well, we're about to see. The first place I ever tried to vanquish, I keep going in and out of the map, is the Eastern Frontier. I don't know why I picked there, not Old Ascalon. But there you get a load of grawl, like literally just outside of the portal. And they were really my first ever enemies in hard mode. And you only get a 4-man team, and it actually turns out in this game it's quite funny. And I quite like the way it worked out. In hard mode, it tends to be the 4-man areas, the early game areas, end up harder just because you've got less people in your party. And you can't sort of tailor them so well. And yeah, the first thing I ever did in hard mode was trying to take out these damn grawl. And the Ula deities are just the most immensely powerful monk healers in my mind. If someone says, oh, well, what's the most powerful, and I know that they're not, but if somebody were to say, oh, what's the most powerful enemy healer in PvE, I would always point to the Ula deities, just because of the situations you're in when you have to fight them. If you don't have a minion master or some really nice way of taking them down, they're just horrible, absolutely horrible. And the champions themselves, you know, they do enough damage, and if you can't kill them quick enough, that's it. But yeah, so that's why the grawl kind of stand out for me. Oh, that turned out to be a massive story over really but pretty much nothing, but there you go. Let's keep moving. We haven't made much progress, have we? I don't really want to speed it up just because, you know... Actually, maybe it's a good idea I do, because we're already 12 minutes in and we've got 3 quests to do. One of them's quite short, as we're about to see. And the other one should be quite short, because I can just cut out all of the travelling. So, yeah, that's not too bad, actually. We're getting to the cool area, though. And also, I cleared out my inventory, and I found out that, yes, I did have lockpicks. Why didn't I just try opening the damn chests? If I had lockpicks, and I just tried, then I would have been able to open them. So we'll check out those chests. Maybe there'll be something nice on them. I doubt it. I reckon we'll probably get a purple caster weapon. Oh look, Anton was dead. Shock horror. But yeah. I think we've desperately over-aggroed here. Look at all of these grawl and elementals. It's, well, that was annoying, and we wiped there. Actually, I've noticed now my death penalty is really high, where I've just died so much. I don't really... Oh, actually, let's open the chest while we still can. Here we go. Lockpick. What did we get? Oh, it was a hammer. All right, cool. It was only purple, though, but whatever. All right, are we done here? Yeah, we just... after we wiped and I walked back here, I've just been noticing we're just, like, massively over-aggroing things. There's just stuff everywhere. But we should be in a relatively safe area soon. Actually, with such high death penalty, I've been looking for an excuse to use this anyway. This is a Power Stone of Courage, which we got a while ago. I'm going to activate it. It will give everybody plus 10% morale, which is quite nice. Plus, we've got a boss to fight in the next quest anyway, so I'd like to go into that with actual decent morale, not everybody on like 40%. I don't think anyone else was as high as me, but generally we had quite high death penalty. There we go. See, if they just ball up, they die so nicely. Alright, so here we go. Down here. Are we about to find a corpse? Oh, no. There's Chance Redding. Well, we can barely see him. We saw his nameplate, though. There he is. Sitting under the rock. Having a bit of fun. You alright, Chance? You hurt? At all? He says, ah, back, Charr. Oh, it's you two. It's a good thing you're here. I'm holding up, but Mr. Pointy was getting a little nervous. Mr. Pointy, supposedly this is a reference to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but, you know, Mr. Pointy, that's a pretty generic, funny thing to call a blade. Anyway, he says, I was about to roust every Charr in the place, as soon as I stop bleeding when I move. Anytime now. Maybe I'm too injured to fight, but I can still offer inspiring homilies to pump us up for battle. Let's just find the sergeant before Blazeclaw turns him into short ribs. Okay, cool. Right, so now we're going to go find the sergeant, and he's down here, and we should... Actually, let's keep walking this way. That should be okay. Now, this field, if I remember rightly, there's nothing really that dangerous here, which is probably why it stands out in my head, and I remember it, and it's one of those memorable kind of areas. Except there are worms. Yeah, this is actually brilliant. I love that there are worms here, because obviously worms were all over the fields of pre-searing. They were all around the fields. But as it turns out, yeah, as you've all figured out by now, worms really, they're not that common, and especially small worms in the world of Tiri, you don't find many of them, do you? You only find the massive sort of WURM worms. And they're sort of really powerful, dangerous things in the most remote of locations. So I've always wondered about those worms in pre-searing Ascalon, why they were kind of all just around the fields while everywhere else in the world they didn't seem to be there. And in Eye of the North you actually see a few more. Again, it's just sort of going back to pre-searing and sort of looking at it that way, which is very cool. But you basically just get this big field here with like little butterflies around and worms, and generally it's a very safe area. There are some, I think it's over there if I remember correctly. Oh no, it's not over there. Can we even walk over there? No, we can't. Oh, there's the view as well. Oh, I'll show you guys that as well. This is one of these areas that, like, this has actually works quite nicely. That you can't actually go over there, right? And I was talking about how the Charr Homelands are quite a small area comparatively. And you can't actually go over there, and it's just one of these frustrating things because it's actually quite well detailed over there, and it's one of those things I wish we kind of could. But, like, we're on the edge of the world here kind of thing, and you can't. There is another view in this corner here, which I will be sure to show you, don't worry, of just, like, this really nice looking forest area. If I'm remembering it correctly, I haven't looked at it for a while. But, oh, man, and that one always gets me. I always look at that and think, oh, just let me go explore over there, show me all the cool stuff that are in the Charr Homelands. You know, maybe some of the more populated areas, because this is quite a remote section of the Charr Homelands as far as we're aware. As far as we're aware, the real Charr Homelands could sort of extend all the way over there or something, you know. I mean, these are just the mysteries of the eastern border, right? I mean, we've heard so little about them, you know, but we've heard just enough to know that there's stuff there. We've heard just enough. It's the same with the western border, I guess, with what I was talking about with the old arena outpost here. Well, not a dry top, but, you know, the Henge of Dunravi. Anyway, alright, so in the bottom left-hand corner of this field, there are bees as well humming around over there, which is quite cool, which also you could find in pre-searing Ascalon, but barely anywhere else. But yeah, so in this bottom left-hand corner, we kind of go into a cave already, and there's this very big, intimidating-looking wall there, and nearby we will find the captain. There's also a collector there. Actually, let's speak to the collector. Where's the collector? Hello, I see your icon, but I don't see... Oh, and there's a collector in his little camp here, I guess. No, wait, shouldn't... Yeah, there we go. So here's Galton Franks, and if this is the person I think it is... Yes, it is. He says, whenever you find grawl, Charr are not far behind. I've convinced the Vanguard to test this theory. I think the grawl are either proto-Charr or, more likely, an important source of Charr nutrition. Either way, removing the grawl should help thin out the Charr. If you want to aid my research, kill grawl and bring me their stone necklaces so I can keep an accurate count. Ultimately, we may have to remove all the grawl as a part of the solution to the Charr problem. For now, for every 8 stone grawl necklaces you bring, I will give you, ta-da, a honeycomb. So, excluding Nicholas the Traveller, who wasn't added until a while after Eye of the North came out, the only way to get honeycombs in Guild Wars that was not in a festival was through this guy. So, there's some stuff we'll see in Guild Wars Beyond as well, which kind of requires you to come back here and get some honeycombs, if I remember correctly, for some wax and stuff, for some candles. So, maybe we'll come back to him at some point. Reading that collector dialogue kind of makes me regret not reading a few more during this Eye of the North Let's Play, because there's a brilliant collector dialogue up here for Mandragore roots, which by the way is what Nick wants for his eye. Actually, maybe Nick is somewhere in here. Maybe I should have looked that up. He could be in the Charr Homelands right now. That'd be very interesting. He probably is, actually, because everyone's at Long Eyes Ledge. Or he could be out back in the Jora marches. Anyway, right, yeah, there's an interesting thing there talking about how the Charr feed their human prisoners only these roots, and then there's this guy who can no longer taste because he's had to eat these Mandragore roots so much. Anyway, right, so Sergeant Westar. Peter Redhill, Jen Chance, I'm gratified you're not dead. Rake Blazeclaw and other Charr attacked me and headed into the dungeon. We are safe for now, but this isn't over yet. It may be far worse than we thought. Those Charr said they were meeting another of their kind named Rragar. There is something insidious afoot, and whatever it is can only bode ill for us if they aren't stopped. Alright, sweet. Yeah, this awesome skill here, by the way. Sniper support, very, very fun. Every time you use it, in fact, I'll demonstrate it, why not? Every time you use this skill, you get you shoot, say, like a little bit of dialogue, and you can like headshot people and do loads of damage. It's brilliant. So yeah, we get another quest here. Rake Blazeclaw and his minion have fled into Rragar's Menagerie. If we strike now, we can enter the battle on our terms, and our deaths may be slightly less horrifying. Be warned, Blazeclaw's minion is a fearsome beast. It melds into the shadows, appearing in a flash of claws and death. This will not be an easy battle. Live fast, die young, and take a super powerful Charr down with you. Yeah, let's do it. Except I don't intend to die die. So this is another quest, very similar to when we had to defeat the Fragment of Antiquities for the Norn, where you kind of dip very slightly into one of the dungeons, but you don't go very deep, and you take out a boss that's there. So in this case, we're only going to go into the first room, funnily enough, in the Menagerie, which is actually my favourite room of the Menagerie. I always thought that the dungeon got a little bit bland after this. Looks very beautiful, doesn't it, actually? And remember the site of this place, because we'll be seeing another primary quest dungeon that looks just like this very soon. But yeah, so here we've got rakes straight away and all these Charr flame shielders. Why not just go for it, I guess? There should be a resurrection. Yeah, there's a resurrection point right at the entrance, so we'll just do what we can. Here's the enforcer as well. I always like this boss fight. It's not sort of really well done, but I kind of like it. It's very similar to, it reminds me at least, at the end of every dungeon, I don't know whether I've specifically come out and said this, but you always get a big boss fight in Eye of the North at the end of every dungeon, and as most good dungeons in most games really should have. But the fight at the end of this one kind of is a similar sort of setup. You get a big beastie guy, and then you get sort of a smaller guy as well. There we go, that's the enforcer down, and here's Rake. Like I said, this is a short quest. And come on, Rake, is he out? Oh, Jesus, he actually took a bit of a beating. There we go. So the quest updated, the hunting of the Charr complete. See Captain Langmar for our reward. So that's that quest chain kind of done. There should be another quest. Oh no, I think I've missed another quest. Hold on. Let's go back out into Sacnoth Valley before we zone back to Captain Langmar. Because I could have sworn that we were supposed to get another one from this guy out here. Anyway, so yeah, let's leave. I always like that they add that portal there as well, because some dungeons, sort of when you go down the first level, they don't let you go back, which is a bit annoying. But where... is he still around? Hello? Anybody? He's not around anymore. Ah, that's annoying. Maybe Captain Langmar will give us the next quest. She should do. I think she will, actually. Let's have a quick look. So back up to Long Eyes.